Hi everyone, this is Jessica from JewelryTutorialHQ.com and Bespangled Beads on Etsy. Today I'm going to show you how to make a multi-strand bridal necklace that is really versatile. And of course you can make this non-bridal by simply using different colors and different materials. I want to start out by getting a couple of links from this chain. It's a non-soldered chain. I'm just going to pull these apart. It's pretty sturdy, which is why I'm going to use it to bead on. And make sure those are closed. Now here I have some beading wire. I'm starting out with a piece that is 20 inches long because I want my strands to be 12 inches and I need at least 4 inches on both ends. So I'm stringing my first strand of little seed pearls, and instead of counting how many beads I'm using, I'm simply beading until I reach the desired length, which again is 12 inches. Now I'm going to show you how to use a crimping tool, and I'm going to go through this kind of quickly because I have another video that goes over this in great detail, that it's nice and slow. So I'm going to string on a crimp bead. I'm using 2mm by 2mm sterling silver crimps, and I'm going to thread one end of the beading wire through the loop that I want to attach it to, and then back through the crimp tube like this. Now I'm going to use my chain nose pliers to pull this tight. I want to pull it tight up against that ring because I don't want it to slide around too much, because again this is an open ring and sometimes the wire can slip through. To use the crimping tool, you start with the groove at the back first. It's the one with the little bump in it, and squeeze the crimp tube once, and that's going to make a nice little groove in your crimp tube. The next step, you want to use the front part of the pliers and squeeze several times around to round that crimp tube up. Now if you don't have a crimping tool, you can simply use your chain nose pliers to squeeze the crimp tube flat. Trim off the excess using my flush cutters. I'm going to slide the beads up to meet the crimp tube on this end. First I'm going to make sure that my strand isn't too tight. You never want to close your strand while it's in a straight line because you can make it too tight and the stringing material can break. To close the strand, you're going to string on another crimp tube all the way up to meet the beads and thread the end of your strand through the link that you want to attach it to. Make sure that the open part is at the top if you're using an open link. Thread the end of the beading wire through the crimp again. I'm holding this a little differently because the beads are already on there. I'm holding the crimp tube tight against the beads this time with my thumb. I'm going to pull it tight with the chain nose pliers. And just make sure it can move well. And again with the back part of the crimping tool, or just squash it flat with your chain nose pliers, and then the front part of the crimping tool all the way around. Now you've closed up your first strand. You can trim off the end. And I'm going to make this an 8-strand necklace, so I'm going to turn off the camera and I'll meet you back in a minute when I've finished my last strand. Okay, so I've got 8 strands. I made them all exactly the same length. Now I'm going to use some ivory colored tulle. Now remember, you could also use ribbon or other material. This is pre-cut ribbon, 6 inches wide, and I'm cutting a length that is 3 feet long, or a yard, folding it in half once lengthwise. And I'm going to do that one more time. That's just to make this fabric a little bit thicker. Since it's so fine, you probably wouldn't have to do this with a ribbon. I'm going to thread it through one of the loops until it is equal lengths on both sides, and then I'm going to tie it around itself. So I'm going to wrap it around my fingers and then tie the knot through that loop. Now I'm going to repeat that with another 3-foot length of fabric or ribbon through the other side. Tie another knot the same way. And then you have a variable length necklace that can simply be tied at the length that you like it. So you can make it long with a little bow, or you can make it shorter with a bigger bow. So I'm just going to show you real quick, like a medium length. That would probably end up being about probably a 22-inch long necklace. You can make it a little longer. And you can tidy up these ends by trimming with scissors if you need to. And that will go really nice with a classic or low-cut gown. So that's one. Number two, just use one length that is a yard long, 3 feet, and thread it through both of the rings. And you can make this into a shorter necklace that's more like a choker. And you just tie a single knot and then tie it into a bow. You can make this a little longer or a little shorter. I think this is really super cute. And again, you just trim off the ends wherever you want them. And a third way that you can wear this is threading the doubled over piece that is, that's one of the same pieces, it's 3 feet long. Thread the loop through the ring and then both ends back through that loop. And it makes a tidier knot around the ring. And you bring that around the neck, thread it through the ring on the other side, and tie a knot at the length that you like it around the ring and around the ribbon. And then you tie those little ends into a sweet small bow. And trim the ends as desired. So you've got 3 great ways to make an awesome multi-strand necklace. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you just love this project and that you'll join me the next time. And you can make sure that you won't miss any new videos if you'll subscribe to my channel. And you can also find me at jewelrytutorialhq.com or on Facebook here. See you next time.